Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Trash Mat MMA, and today we're going over some crazy news that Dana Pink Man himself came out with. Tom Aspinall versus CIRYL gone for the heavyweight championship of the world. Big news, big news. This is huge news. Not going on at the White House, but still huge. I'm sorry. I just generally don't know what to fucking talk about right now. Dude, my bad. But what a big fight! I didn't even know he was going live today, and I haven't seen the actual video of him announcing it yet. But here it is: Tom Aspinall versus CIRYL gone. So I'm just so fucking tired of CIRYL gone fighting for the belt, bro. Is anybody else? Is anybody else fighting for? It's like Max Holloway fighting for the featherweight belt, but it's just like 10 times not as deserved. It's like, bro, all bro needs is one win. Fuck it, bro beats Tai Tuivasa. You're fighting for a title. Bro robs fucking Alexander Volkov. You're fighting for a title. It's like, dude, I'm fucking tired of this shit, man. Can we actually get a deserving contender? But the craziest part is there is no deserving contender. There is none. What is it? Oh, I was gonna say what the fuck is this C? But stands for champ. There is no deserving contender. Like Alexander Volkov, like that'd be cool, but he already fucking got beaten by Tom Aspinall in the fucking first round. So it's like, yeah, he made improvement. He's definitely better, but what is there? So I guess this fight is interesting because it's fresh, it's new, it's not it's not a rematch. So which is good for Tom Aspinall's first title defense. I guess you wouldn't want uh, a rematch for one of his first title defenses, but that's where you bring in a Jailton Almeida. That's where if the UFC was actually getting things going, that's where Waldo Cortez Acosta would have already had the Pavlovich fight. Bro sat out for so long doing fucking jack shit. It's like that's where we have these new contenders come in, but it's this is a good fight. I'm honestly excited to see this. This isn't like a Tom Aspinall versus kind of this is honestly Tom Aspinall versus one of the first like in shape fighters that he's gone against, other than Sergey Pavlovich, who I mean, let's face it, he's kind of a plotty plodster. This is like another true heavyweight, another true in shape heavyweight that isn't just fat. And honestly, he's kind of in better shape than Tom Aspinall, if we're being honest. Tom Aspinall is known to have a little bit of meat on the bones, so to speak. A little bit of a blubber. But I'm excited for this fight. I mean, just by default, I'm gonna have to go with Tom Aspinall. Although I don't think he's gonna KO him in one. I think CIRYL GANE is fast enough to avoid some shots. I think he has a decent enough chin to maybe not chin, but I think he can avoid some shots from CIRYL GANE, from Tom Aspinall. I think he could use some head movement, some lateral movement to not just go fucking in front, not just stand in front of Tom Aspinall and trade. Uh, I don't think Tom Aspinall gets a KO here. I do believe if Tom Aspinall wins this fight, it is by submission. I can't see Tom Aspinall knocking him out in the first round, but I can definitely see him subbing him in the first round. Like, I can't see CIRYL GANE, like, bro got subbed by John Jones. You know what I'm saying? He was, like, shitty grappling with Francis Ngannou. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't, oh, sorry. I don't see this guy's being too impressive on the ground. Nor on the feet. Like, he's just, like, a Leon Edwards maxer. He just kind of, like, stands there and, like, shows you shit, but doesn't really commit to really anything. And everything he does commit to isn't really the best. He got fucking think about it. He real life got he got dropped by Tai Tuivasa. If Tai Tuivasa is dropping you, Tom Aspinall can drop you. But I don't think that's the approach that Tom Aspinall is going to take to this fight. Although it might be. Tom Aspinall might throw himself in the fire to really gain that momentum back. Nothing really gains momentum back like a first round KO. Sure, a first round submission would be cool always, but that won't really have the fans rallying behind you. So I could see a world where Tom Aspinall goes into this fight saying that he needs to get a fast finish, he needs to make something happen, and that, potentially leaves some openings for CIRYL GANE, knowing that Tom Aspinall is gonna want to make a statement coming back. CIRYL GANE doesn't really have to make a statement. CIRYL GANE never wants to make a statement. CIRYL GANE just fights once a year just so he could continue fucking making movies on the side. CIRYL GANE doesn't really care about winning, but with that, I think that provides a great opportunity for Tom Aspinall to make a mistake, to try and force something, to try and put the pepper on CIRYL GANE early in the first, and leave some openings and potentially getting into some funky scenarios. But this was one of the fights that Dana White matched up. We'll go over all of them. So I do have Tom Aspinall by first round sub, but I could see it not being that easy for him. So, but that's my early prediction: Tom Aspinall by first round submission. But on to the next fight. Uh, I believe the only other fight that is also on UFC 321 Abu Dhabi is Alexander Volkov versus Gelton Almeida. So that'll be prime setup for Tom Aspinall's next fight, which he does say he wants to get in another one. So it'll probably be in December. Quick turnaround for Tommy Boy if he gets it done. But on to the next fight. Okay, Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Roundtree. Actually, we're not gonna go over this fight. Shit. Fuck. Damn it. Hold on. Fuck. Damn it. Never mind then. Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. The co-main event, I'm pretty sure, of UFC 320 in Vegas. Man, we should have known this fight was coming, but I honestly didn't. I honestly wasn't really expecting this, but I guess it makes sense, right? I mean, you're Prochazka coming off of a win off of Jamal Hill. Khalil Roundtree also coming off of a win of Jamal Hill. I mean, what else is there to make, There's really nothing else in the top of the division. Who else is there? I mean, you have Carlos Ulberg there, but I mean, Carlos Ulberg is more so like it's like an in-between fight, That was a fight for Magomed ANKALAEV if nobody else took a fight and he really wanted to get a fight in there in the meantime. But I can't really see them doing anything with Carlos Ulberg. I mean, there's no name. Yuri Prochazka, the second-ranked light heavyweight versus Khalil Roundtree, the fourth-ranked light heavyweight. And honestly, this one's a bit hard. No, it's not really hard at all. I'm gonna put it this way. If Johnny Walker can finish you because he's wiry and unpredictable, Yuri Prochazka with finishing potential, a actually built-in light heavyweight, can absolutely maul you in round one. I have Yuri Prochazka by not dominant performance, but by brutal sleeping KO in the first. By I want to say a jumping knee. I think that's how I'm gonna go. A jumping knee after battering Khalil for a few minutes. I think he's gonna get a jumping knee and kind of murk Khalil Roundtree up against the fence and having slumped out cold on the canvas. But that's my prediction for that fight. UFC 320, the co-main event. We'll get into the main event a little bit later. On to the next fight, though. Merab Dvalishvili on the same card, bro. Dude, UFC 320 stacked. Off rip. This shit is stacked. Merab Dvalishvili versus Corey Sandhagen. Yeah. I mean, think about it. This fight is very circumstantial. Corey Sandhagen doesn't really deserve a title shot off of one win off of Davison Figueiredo. I mean, You know what I'm saying? Peter Yan just beat Davis and Figueiredo before Corey did. Corey's has one win. He just got beat by Umar. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only reason he's getting this title shot is because there's nobody else. I actually seen a crazy stat saying, maybe not anymore with some few fights that happened recently, but I seen a stat not too long ago. I believe it was a little bit after Marab's fight against O'Malley, saying that Merab Dvalishvili and Corey Sandhagen have beaten every single top 10 contender, which is, if true, absolutely wild. Obviously, together, not individually, but together, all their wins are wins over the top 10 bantamweight fighters. So that's fucking crazy. Um, but I just think this. I mean, we have the game plan to beat Corey Sandhagen. Be a pressure grappler and have decent striking, and I think that's two things that Merab has. Corey Sandhagen's talking about, you gotta finish him in the first. You gotta finish. You gotta get him out of there. You gotta put him out cold, bro. You're not doing that, dude. Who was the last person you put out cold? Deadass. Who was the last person you put out cold? Fucking Frankie Edgar? Come on, dude. Come on, dude. You expect me to believe you're gonna get a flying knee KO on Merab? Shit, maybe you could, bruh. Maybe he could, but genuinely, I would like my chances of Kaya Sakura getting a flying knee on Merab over Corey Sandhagen. Anybody know why fucking Kaya Sakura went to fucking flyweight and not bantamweight? I don't know, that's a little weird to me. This is the co-main event of 320, actually, not Yuri Prokoshka versus Khalil Roundtree. Makes sense. Um, just it's I don't think Corey has any. He has great grappling. Don't get me wrong. He has great grappling. He was able to survive in with Umar in the grappling exchanges. So I think Umar has a far more, not by much, but he has more finishing potential than Merab. I mean, I'm not gonna let this fucking uh like reverse ninja choke, uh or north south choke, whatever, over Sean O'Malley. I'm not gonna let it blind me. Dude, this belt is fucking huge on him. Holy shit. This belt is fucking massive. It makes him look like a dwarf. But I'm not gonna let that shade my eyes and think that Marab's a finishing machine. I don't think he can finish Corey. I think Corey has great grappling. Good enough to grappling to not get subbed by Marab. Not good enough wrestling to avoid takedowns. I think he will get taken down. And if he doesn't, too bad. I'm shooting 20 more, you know? Maybe he might be able to. I feel like I could see Corey being the first one to cut uh, Marab. I don't think we've seen Marab cut, and if we have, my apologies. But I think we'd see Corey Sandhagen the first to really open a brutal cut. Maybe, maybe on the cheek with like an step in elbow, similar to like uh Pantoja versus Urseg, the one of those exchanges in the fifth round, where Urseg steps in with a lead elbow, and then Pantoja comes in with the right hand to clip Urseg, something like that. I think we could really see Corey put on some damage on Merab and make him look not beatable, but cut him open a little bit, get him a little bashed up. But I think Merab's still gonna go through, is still gonna eat those shots, and just kind of just drag him down to the canvas and emote on him a little bit. So I got Merab Dvalishvili by a dominant 49-46 decision. I think Corey can pull off one round by some damage, but I got Merab. On to the next fight. The main event of 320. Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. The rematch 2. I'm hyped for this. This is so weird to actually see. Does anybody else feel this way? This is so weird to see Magomed Ankalaev with the belt and Alex Pereira as a contender. This is going to be crazy. I don't know. How is this gonna play, man? Alex Pereira walking out first. Nobody to really, nobody to shoot an arrow at. Instead, he'll be having an arrow shot at. I'm casual maxing now, but this is interesting, man. This is interesting. I feel like Alex Pereira kind of, I don't know. As of recently, he's kind of thrived on being the A side, and now, after so long, resorting to forcefully resorting to being the B side, I think that might have a little bit of a little bit of a mental weight on him. But I think Poatan can get it done. Poatan. I think Pereira can get it done, man. Not saying that he will. I think Magomed Ankalaev has every. I think Magomed Ankalaev's tool bag is 2 to 3 times deeper than Alex Pereira. Not by much. I think their first fight was extremely competitive. I think Magomed Ankalaev clearly. I don't know, because I do remember thinking Alex Pereira won, but it was extremely close. It was extremely competitive. I thought Alex Pereira could have won 3 out of the 5 rounds, but I'm not gonna call it a robbery by any means. I definitely can see Magomed Ankalaev winning. I have no complaints about it whatsoever. But I think there is room for improvement on Pereira's side, where I think Magomed Ankalaev's game plan to beat Pereira, I think it'll remain essentially the same. He won't be able to take him down. He's gonna stick with that jab. He's gonna stick with that, kind of quick right hand. I think. Oh man, this is gonna. I'm gonna want to make me puke saying this, but I think Magomed Ankalaev has a great chance at KOing Pereira. I think Pereira's chin has always been a little bit sus. He got KO'd by Israel Adesanya, somebody who doesn't have KO power. And he was getting a little stung up on the feet against Magomed in the first fight. He got dropped once or twice. He got hurt against Khalil Roundtree. I do think, though, I don't know, this is weird because Magomed Ankalaev was in Ramadan during the first fight. That has to be mentioned. He wasn't 100%. This is going to be a little difficult. I think that added factor of not being constantly drained throughout the day for Magomed Ankalaev, or throughout the whole month leading up to the fight, I think that's going to be a great improvement on his cardio, his fast twitch ability, his muscles. I mean, dude, when you're dehydrating yourself to that extent, like, your muscle fibers you're gonna be a little stuck. They're not gonna be as fluid. You're not gonna have as much momentum, and you're not gonna be that fast. You're not gonna be as fast twitched as you would be. But I think Pereira can make the right adjustments. I think if he sticks to something simple, just a jab, he doesn't try to commit to that left hook consistently. I think he just stays simple, plays it at range, low kick, jab to the body. I think that'll be money for Alex Pereira, and I think it'll set up a potentially KO shot for him. But I do see another clear game plan for Ankalaev, where he's not at 80%. I can see him pulling it off again. So I'm a fence sit on this one a little bit. I'm leaning 55-45 in favor of Magomed Ankalaev. I do think that Ramadan shit isn't talked about nearly enough. I think that was a really scumbag move. I can see Magomed Ankalaev getting it done again in a more impressive fashion, potentially putting out Pereira this time. But I think Pereira can make the right adjustments to come back, rally back, and get an upset, which I would imagine he would be an underdog in this fight. I think this, last name ending in an EV, I think obviously people see a dominant champion. I mean, the record goes along to show with it. Dude's got every one in the game, 12-1-1-1. Jeez Louise. I can see Ankalaev maintaining the belt 100%, but I'm not by much. I'm leaning, like I said, 55-45 in favor of Ankalaev. But I believe, what the fuck off my screen? I believe those were all the fights scheduled. I don't remember there being anything else. there is really nothing else, if we're being honest. Oh, we go over this fight. Alexander Rakic versus Azmat Mirzakhanov. I don't really like this matchup. To be honest. I think what we could have done is do Alexander Rakic against Carlos Ulberg and give Azmat Mirzakhanov to Jan Blachowicz. Me personally, like I said in one of my previous videos regarding these two, I made a fights to make video after Mirzakhanov last fought, and I said put him up against Jan Blachowicz. Azamat Mirzakhanov is a little bit older already. He's up there in the 30s. I believe he's 38. We don't need more old contenders. Jan Blachowicz is 42. I say we in out with the old, in with the slightly less old Azamat Mirzakhanov. I think you put Azamat Mirzakhanov against Jan Blachowicz. You know, the winner, Unk, gets to stay at the barbecue. You know, the other one gets fucking sent home. The other one says, yeah, all right, Unk, you have a little bit too much to drink, man. Why don't we call you a cab, man? Why don't we call you an Uber? Get you home. I just think this is a bit of a silly matchup. I do have Azmat Mirzakhanov. Alexander Rakic is a little bit too chinny, and I think Azmat Mirzakhanov has a right amount of pop in his shots. Just there's nothing dangerous about Rakic. You know, there's really nothing that Mirzakhanov has to worry about. Although, tell me why I can see fucking Alexander Rakic hitting a mean elbow on Azmat Mirzakhanov as he fucking blitzes in. But even then, Rakic doesn't have the fucking balls to throw something like that, bro. He just won't throw anything dangerous or anything with intent. He will pitter-pat with you for 15 minutes. Azmat Mirzakhanov will go in for the kill, and I believe at some point in the second round, he will get that KO shot. And, Steve Erceg versus Hyung-Sung Park. Dude, I don't know. I just love Steve Erceg so much, man. I love Steve Erceg so much. And I was so hyped to see him booked against Alex Perez because that was just a layup. But I don't know. I don't really like this matchup too much, you know? Like, I see it. I don't know. I just think it's weird. I guess, you know, the UFC is just all timing. But, man, Joshua Van had to go on like a 6-fight win streak to get a ranked opponent, you know? And somebody who's 2-0 in the rankings, or 2-0 getting a top 10 opponent, you know, it just doesn't really sit well with me. Jose Ochoa, same way, you know, like he's not fighting a ranked opponent, but getting that Cody Durden matchup, who was somebody who was, you know, freshly kicked out of the rankings. He's looking for a ranked opponent next. Loner Kavanagh, one win of the UFC. He's getting Charles Johnson, who Charles Johnson was ranked not too long ago. He just got kicked out of the rankings by Ramazan Temirov. Seeing Hyung-Sung Park go 2-0 in the UFC and then just, oh, here's the title. It's just like, I just think these newer contenders who are 1 and 2-0 in the UFC getting a fucking top 10 ranked opponent, it's a little silly. So I do have Steve Erceg on this one. I haven't seen much of Hyung-Sung Park, so I can't really speak too much of his ability, if I'm being completely honest. I see Carlos Hernandez is on his notable wins. I don't rate that. I don't rate that whatsoever. Of course, I guess you could look at Steve Erceg's wins and say, oh, Alexandre Costa match now, you know, David Dvorak. It's like, all right, I get it. He's 3-3 in the UFC, but he's 3-3 against killers. Fucking one of the most dominant champions that we've seen since DJ. Brandon Moreno, who he went to a very competitive fight with. Extremely competitive. And he got fluked by Kai Kara. But that was a fluke, man. Everybody has their fucking fluke performances, dude. And that was just Kai Kara's, man. That was just his number, bro. His shit came up snake eyes. Didn't go Steve Erceg's way that night. And he didn't even get really knocked down, bro. He got TKO, dude. He was back to his feet immediately. But I'm just fucking, you know, coping right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Those were my breakdowns for recently announced fights. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my um I'll be making obviously my prediction video for this fight night coming up. Robert Whitaker versus Reiner de Ritter. I just posted a stylistic breakdown for this. I'm posting this Wednesday, and Thursday I'll be coming out with my prediction video. So hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I appreciate you. Follow the Instagram too, @TrashmanMMA, and the Twitter @TrashmanMMA. I appreciate y'all. Good night.